Welcome to another episode of Apex Legends Deep Dive, and today's legend is Catalyst.
Mind over matter, unless the matter is mine.
On today's episode, we'll be looking at all the details for Catalyst and how each one could be used while in game and how each one can benefit you as well. Before we begin, I would just like to say if you're here watching this video, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking the time in your day to check it out. If you would like, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all my content, and leave a like on the video if you're enjoying this series of Apex Legends Deep Dive. Enjoy. All right. Catalyst, our last legend on this long journey we've gone down with all the legends in Apex Legends. As our final quick reminder, Catalyst falls into the controller class as well, which allows them to access the ring consoles on the map. These ring consoles allow you to see the location of the next circle. Again, having this information is very crucial for any team, I believe, and that's just a quick reminder for that. So Catalyst was introduced in season 15 and she became a very strong character to use in that season. It didn't happen right away. It happened over time as the season went on. They quickly started being used for teams, either in ranked and in comp. What happened was that her abilities became a great form of cover while rotating. Now, there were some teams who had the guts to push and fight into the wall, but there is a risk to do it. So that's why she ended up being a great character for comp for a bit, and she stayed meta for a while. I think for the whole season she stayed meta. Her spikes gave her a good block to hold on doors when a team was trying to push you, alongside with the reinforced ability that she has. Gave her a nice way to bunker down a building. But as we all know, when things get overpowered, things will get nerfed. And this is what happened to Catalyst. She got nerfed, and this nerf really hurt her, I think, in my opinion, and she quickly got pushed away. She is currently at the bottom next to Newcastle on the pick rate list. And again, I just think the nerf hurt them a lot to be viable again. And what happened was that they nerfed time of the wall and the length of the wall. While they are still helpful though, all her abilities are still helpful in some way. It will definitely depend on the perks that you choose with Catalyst now, but I don't think Catalyst will gain that momentum that she did before. All right, let's do an introduction of Catalyst abilities. Catalyst has a passive called Barricade. This allows you to reinforce doors, strengthen them, and lock in them to enemies. Spaces where doors have been destroyed can also be reinforced. You can reinforce up to 2 doors at a time. Once reinforced, it takes about 4 melee hits to knock down, and it takes about 0.5 seconds for the animation to reinforce the doorway. This passive is great to hold off a team from pushing in, giving you time to reset and heal while they take the time trying to open the door. Now, make sure to use your passive each time there is a doorway to ensure enemies get slowed down. Also, grenades will still destroy the reinforced doors with 1 hit, and thermites will slowly damage it. This is mainly great for enemies who push you and do not have grenades technically. So I honestly think everyone carries grenades at this point, or even the fuse would hurt this as well. But yeah, this will be good for only those specific teams, but to know that is very difficult, I guess, while you're in a game. If the team does have grenades though, it won't be much help. Her tactical is called Piercing Spikes. This allows you to throw a patch of ferrofluid which turns into spikes when the enemies get near. Catalyst is immune to these enemy spikes or your own. Cooldown for this is 25 seconds. You can carry up to 2 charges at a time. If a spike has not been activated, you can pick it back up if you want. Enemies caught in the spikes will be slowed and get damage at 15 per second. Each patch you throw down has about 300 HP, so they can be destroyed. Keep that in mind as well. Her ultimate is called Dark Veil. This allows you to raise a permeable wall of ferrofluid. Enemies who walk through it will be slowed and partially blind for a brief time. Obviously, this was Catalyst's strong suit before the nerfs, but it seems like they moved it to kind of force you to pick in the late game with the new perk system on how to use her wall now. This wall now only goes up to 40 meters and lasts 15 seconds. No scans work through this wall, and if anybody crosses it, again, they will be slowed by 15% and blinded for 7 seconds. Catalyst is immune to friendly and enemy wall. All right, let's take a look at level 2 upgrades for Catalyst. Option 1, Sister Spikes. Increase max number of active spikes by 1. This perk allows you to have 3 spikes active at the same time. So currently you can only have 2 at a time, but with this perk you can throw down 2, wait for the next one to recharge, and then throw another one to add the third one. Again, not game changing, but just a small addition to cover an extra area or entrance. So for example, you can have a building with 3 entrances, for example. This will allow you to put a spike on each entrance. Great for holding off sections for sure, but just remember that once you throw down 2 spikes, you will have to wait for the cooldown to recharge your next spike. Option 2, Long Cast. Increase spike throw range by 40%. This perk allows you to increase your throw range of your spikes by 40%. So currently the throw distance is about 15 meters and up to 40 meters max. So this perk would basically give you about 20 meters to throw, and if you aim higher, it could probably increase it to about about 45 to 46 meters. Now, it's not a huge difference, but it will give you that extra range, you know, to throw your spike in a certain area. For example, if you are on high ground and you see teams far out that are behind cover, you can use this. This can be used for, you know, to get them out or trap them in. Of course, you have to remember they can destroy the spike, so I would recommend not to throw it in front of them, but kind of try to see if you can see their path of which way they're going to have to run and throw it right there, and they will have to destroy it or face the consequences of just running through it. Again, not game changing, but just a little adjustment and addition that for each spikes that you can use. Let's look at level 3 upgrades for Catalyst. Option 1, Long Veil. Increase ultimate length by 15 meters. This perk allows you to increase the length of your ultimate wall. So these next two perks are basically the nerfs they did to Catalyst in this season. Now they're kind of making you choose which one to use while in match. So using this perk specifically will give you back the length of the wall before the nerf. So this means that the length of the wall will give you more cover to rotate and block off a team from pushing, but just remember that the time, it will stay at 15 seconds and not the 25 that it used to be. Option 2, Resilient Veil. Increase ultimate lifetime by 5 seconds. This perk will allow you to increase the time the wall stays up. Now, this will bump it up from 15 to 20 seconds, which is not the exact time before the nerf. So before the nerf, it was 25 seconds, but I think this personally affected Catalyst the most from being a viable legend, because now the veil does not stay up for long. Now you will have to choose which one you want to use in game. So having more time is also great because it could be used to either reset or run to a safe spot. You have to cross in an open area. Again, this is a great addition for Catalyst to have, but it's just unfortunate they split the nerf into two. All right, so for my final verdict for Catalyst and choosing the best two perks to use was a little bit difficult for me because I do not see it being helpful for the team or herself either. The nerfs really hurt her, I think, in my opinion, to be viable in any way. But ultimately, if we have to choose and you are playing with Catalyst, I would probably go with Sister Spikes and Resilient Veil. I would rather personally have 3 spikes active to control and block an area with the spikes than have the long throw distance. Ideally, it is good, but I would assume you won't need it as much throw far while in game. Again, it is helpful, but I don't see it being as much as ideal. I think the goal is to block off as much area as you can with your abilities, and this is why I think Sister Spikes would be more beneficial. As for level 3, this one was a little bit difficult to choose for sure, but I choose Resilient Veil because I believe that having more time with the wall up is more helpful for the team to reset and get cover from the wall. But there is an exception here. This one might have to be communicated with your team and which one might be better for your team to currently have. So depending on the team you're playing with, it will depend on this choice right here at level 3, but it will require a lot of communicating with your team. So for example, if you have an Octane, Valk, Ashe, Wraith, any of these escape legends, you can manage the length of the wall by combining the length of the wall, and then near the end you can either Ashe teleport, Wraith portal, Octane launchpad, etc. to get you across the area, since you won't have the full length of the cross with the wall. So technically it is manageable even if you lose the length of the wall. So I think, in my opinion though, I rather would have more time for the wall to have more time, since you are able to kind of combine and make up for the length with another legend. So again, I think the best one would probably be like an Ashe, but I mean, it just depends on the legend that you're playing, that your team is playing with. So I just think that this might be the better combination, which is Sister Spikes and Resilient Veil, kind of the go-to perks if you use Catalyst. Well, there it is, everyone. That is all the details on Catalyst and how each perk can benefit you or not while in game. Well, this is the end of the series for all the legends in the Apex Legends game. Now, this has been very fun for me to create this series for any player who wants to either return to Apex after a long break or just want to try it out, you know, for the first time. You know, I hope everyone really enjoyed it. You know, a couple videos might have been a little bit shorter than usual, but I was testing out some styles and how to talk about the legends, and you know, whether I didn't know, I was just kind of testing out, you know, to see which ones is more, I guess, informational, whether it's the full details or just quick details. You know, that's kind of how I was testing it. Of course, this was a deep dive series of the new system and perks, and you know, as we know, with each new season things will change, so we might go back and do updated videos in the future if they change. Now, I've been personally playing ranked lately, and while there are issues with cheaters, I keep hearing about them in ranked, but let's be honest, which game doesn't have cheaters in 2024? But it has been pretty fun, you know, to play ranked again after my long break from Apex. I came back after, let me see, 3 seasons. I think I stopped playing. I've been on and off for a while now. I know I played season 4 to like season 11. I played every season, and then I took a long break from there for sure. I've been enjoying my return to Apex, and I really hope these videos help anyone who watches them for sure. But always remember to do your own testing and try out different styles to see which one fits you best. You know, we're all different, so some things may not work for you that may have worked for someone else. So but I hope they can help in some form. Also, I hope I can continue to create more videos to give you great information for anyone. Well, I appreciate everyone that stopped by to check out the video. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe and check out all the uploads, shorts, and streams. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, never stop gaming. Amaru out. Peace.